AC repairman introduces himself. I say, "Hi, my name's Jake." And he says, "Jake from State Farm." I begin sobbing uncontrollably. This is a social hiccup during the small talk / pleasantries phase of a conversation, where our brain is just trying to find ways of filling up the empty space, but absolutely nothing of importance comes out. I'm so petrified of appearing unhuman in these situations that I just blurt out the most obvious observation, like, "Wow, you're tall." "Yeah, Jake. They know they're tall." At the start of a conversation, my brain is just grasping at any straws available, as though I'm being forced to make a boba tea at gunpoint. And the suck stick I select is just too small to slurp up the succulent tapioca pearls of great conversation at the bottom of the cup. This is a non-issue that takes up too much real estate in my head. And if you've tried talking to me, you know there are more pressing issues I should address first. Much like my homemade yogurt, conversations with me are plain, if not a bit off-putting. And that's the real reason I didn't get the city council position. By the way, for this season of Famous Jake, I'm exploring the unemployment story arc. Forever young. Anyways, while job searching, I came across a position available for a city council member in a town close to me. The position is usually elected by city residents, but apparently the person who had just been elected died. It was decided to just fill the position like any old job. No election, I could just walk in with my little briefcase and apply for the job right there. And I understand my mistake. I have since gotten a larger briefcase. Still unemployed though. Now there was kind of a catch to this job. It only paid like $12,000 a year, and essentially you would only meet every other Saturday. Regardless, I applied. The opportunity was too great, but undemocratically, I was denied the position. And this was likely because I didn't live there, was 23, inexperienced, and I don't get along well with other dogs. I would have moved there if I had been considered. I would have made big changes to the city. It's underestimated how much joy a public frozen yogurt machine would bring to the community. That feeling as a child after eating some absolutely terrible buffet food and going over to the dessert area and pulling that lever and just watching the vanilla and chocolate swirl enter your cup, that control, the power. I would have been a great civil servant. Now imagine you're an adult, you have a bad day at work, personally can't relate, unemployed, and you pull up next to one of those ugly traffic light computing boxes, and right there next to it is one of the most joyous public utilities, a frozen yogurt machine, available to you. No toppings, because that just logistically would be a nightmare. In Switzerland, they have public springs on every corner with some of the freshest water in the world. We could have had frozen yogurt. I am now, unfortunately, lactose sensitive, and I'm fairly certain it was from my own destructive volition. Growing up in my middle school and high school days, I could easily down a gallon of milk before supper. And you know I'm not exaggerating here, because that's not a ridiculous amount of milk, but it's not something that you would want to do consistently. And I did. Thank God the sight was disturbing enough that early on, my mother switched from 2% milk to fat-free, which is essentially like water. Otherwise, my bones would have fused together. One single bone, the human bone. The worst superhero in the world, but maybe a successful adult film star. The amount of calcium I still have pumping through my body is so severe that I sweat milk like a platypus. There's one more thing that irks me. How is the tube top not popular? You get to experience what it's like for a coffee cup to have one of those cardboard sleeves on. You can turn it into a skirt in a pinch. I know they look terrible, and really, only people with 8-packs can pull them off. I need this, you know? I need a win. Can you do this for me? Make tube tops popular. Alright, bye.